Well, here we are again, folks. It's lovely to see you all, except I can't. But anyway, I know you're there. Now, this is the astrology for the full moon in Sagittarius, which occurs at 9 degrees 56. It occurs on Sunday, the 31st of May at 8:46. That's AM UK time. Now, in ancient times, this moon at this time of the year had many names, some of which are probably more recently known as a flower moon or a corn planting moon. But the Anglo-Saxons used to call it a milk moon. Now that's probably evident because if you've been out and about and you've seen all the little lambs in the fields and the calves you may or may not have seen, but it is a time of abundance for feeding your babies. All the birds are starting to, well, they've been nesting and they're starting, the eggs are starting to hatch now, although they don't feed them milk, but it's still sustenance, isn't it? So it was known to the Anglo-Saxons as a milk moon. Now this moon is a full moon, and it shines a light or brings illumination to the area of your chart or any chart in which it falls. So which house it falls in. It's not just the sign it falls in, but it's the house, the placement, that house that it falls into. Those of you who haven't got your chart or don't know your chart, then this may not mean a lot to you, except you can look at your life with the moon as it moves around, and especially with the full moon and the new moon, and see and note down maybe the effects or the things that are going on at the time, so that you can keep a record, maybe look back. That's another little bit of homework for those of you that want to try it. But I shall get on instead of rambling. So this full moon, being in Sagittarius, will shine its light on truth, justice, and the philosophy behind law, and the honesty and integrity of those who see those laws are fair and apply to all. Now, if we look back to the last time the moon was in Aquarius, that was a new moon, and that was early last December. So December 2025. So again, perhaps for those of you who haven't got your chart, you can look back at that time and see what was going on in your own lives, or externally, of course, but go what was going on in your own lives, what happened then. Now, issues and events playing out on the world stage at that time, and as I say, personally, will be highlighted again at this full moon, as they're both Sagittarius. New moon, full moon. So something begins and something ends, or we get the next stage to that happening or event or situation. There was a definite air at that time, as I recollect, but I have slept since then, so I might be slightly wrong. But there was a definite air of justice, I feel, at December's full moon, because it was a super moon, so it was even more powerful. The super moon is when it's the closest to the earth that it gets, so it really highlights your emotions. So something that would have highlighted your emotions in some way, something you felt really strongly about. That could have been something to do with justice, fair play, or justice being done or seen to be done, or you felt, oh, well, justice, I have my justice. I hope that makes sense. So, as I say, those of you that have your chart, if you personally look at the house that this full moon falls in, and that the new moon fell in December last year, that's the area of illumination. So if it's in your first house, it will be the house of self. If it's the fourth house, maybe it would be in your home, something to do with your home, your mother, your roots in some way. Seventh house would be your partnership, or a pending partnership, your relationships with other people, and so on. So have a look and see. There, as you may be aware, is much unrest and disillusion among the populace, because it's hard to know what is true, real, and who or what can be relied upon. We need at this time to build our inner consciousness, to reach our personal truths with complete honesty. As I said, I believe in my last video, we can kid ourselves all we like, but at the end of the day, we are only kidding ourselves. So it pays to be truthful, at least to ourselves, and definitely, preferably, to everybody else as well. So see what you can do. What do we want our future to hold that is just and fair for all? We are at a pivotal point in our Earth's history and need to use the power of this full moon and the power of this full moon's ending to move on in many ways, on many levels. It is the time to stand up and be counted, to leave victimhood behind, which began really with the ingress of Neptune into Aries in January of this year, but it would have been building up towards that. 2026 is a mighty year with much happening in the cosmos that has not occurred for millennia, maybe, if at all. As I've said, we are being upgraded, and those who question, deep thinkers or people prepared to give some time to various questions. You remember I set you some homework last time, should you have chosen to do it. What did you come up with? So those who question, as I say, will realise they are seeing, maybe feeling, in a very different way than they have before, because our senses are becoming more heightened. Dreams more vivid or different from the norm. And I have mentioned before about the possibility of people keeping a dream diary. It's a very good thing to look back and see, because just at this time, our dreams, not everybody remembers them, so it might be difficult for some of you, but our dreams can be at this time very prophetic, and because they are coming from your deep subconscious and we are being changed at such a level, there will be many clues within your dreams that help you in your daily lives, that give you some idea about where you're going or what you need to be heading for, and give you strength and guidance. So, it's well worth doing if, as they say, that's your bag. God, that sounds a bit 60s, doesn't it? Oh dear, show my age, never mind. We have a stronger sense of what is right and just that at the moment just won't be ignored. This full moon can bring realization or occurrences that feel somehow that things are fated. It's definitely an element of this is meant to happen, or this is meant to be, or I've known this all along and now it's actually occurring. So there's a fated element within it. Sagittarius is a wonderful sign. I love Sagittarius. I mean, I love all the signs, but I do love Sagittarius. It's so positive and optimistic. It's like the playful puppy of the zodiac. It bounds along and everything's joyful and happy. And of course, you can go a little bit too joyful and happy and overstep the mark and put both feet in your mouth at once, trip over things. Anyway, Sagittarius influences many areas, not only the law and justice, but travel, especially air travel, faraway places, foreigners, philosophy, higher education, etc. The list goes on. There are many planetary placements indicating change at the top just now. I know I've mentioned this before, but touching on especially world leaders in countries like China, France, Russia, the United States. And actually, at the time of writing this or looking at the charts of different places, I don't watch the news. As I've said before, I rather like to feel my way through my life, and but you can't help picking things up. So it seems as if it's gone quite quiet over the pond than of late, but watch this space. What is going on behind the scenes? There's a lot of planetary things going on in the chart for the USA, big time, and for the president and other people in higher ranks within his government. So there are definitely big changes. And of course, full moons are endings. Our royals will have, or will not, should I say, escape radical change either. Our king is not, sadly, as well as he appears. It's not only the fuel situation that will bite hard, but a lack of water too. As you know, we haven't had an awful lot of rain over these last couple of months. I mean, we may have had some heavy downbursts. That's not really right, is it? Downpours and outbursts of rain on various parts of this country, but I live in East Anglia and we haven't had much at all. So again, we need to be careful, and we're not the only place that has had problems with water, either in excess and flooding, or more likely to be a lack of water. So try and save what you can. Agriculture, of course, is suffering from a lack of rainfall, especially in the UK and out east, particularly in parts of India, where we may hear some news, unfortunately, from that part of the world, greatly affecting crop yields. So need to keep an eye on that. It will be wise, as I've been saying for some time now, to grow as much of food as you can, to grow your own, even if it's just a window box with a few lettuces in it, just something to help your vitamin supply at least. Keep by also goods that have long dates on them, things that will last, tin food, that sort of thing, and non-perishables. Like, I don't want to start a war again here, but toilet rolls comes to mind. Oh dear, what will we do without them? How did we manage without them? Anyway, we won't go there. So anyway, bear this in mind. Don't need to go berserk and clear the shelves or anything like that, but please bear this in mind. because we need to pull together as communities. So raiding the shelves isn't going to help anybody, is it? We need to help each other. The time for being selfish and self-centered is over, and we need to think more globally. We need, in true Sagittarian spirit, to spread the bounty evenly and fairly, with the ultimate intent to, as the song says, feed the world and become more communal. There have been this is definitely the direction we're all heading in, to become more one world family and have communities that band together and help each other. A bit like the old wartime spirit, you know. Keep calm, carry on. And there must have been something about helping each other, dig for victory, all these type of things. So again, anything that you can do to help your neighbours, your friends, your family, and those who are close by in your local area. This, as I say, is the way we will all be heading a bit more tribal, you know. If you think back in history, way back in history, to the nomads that wandered around before man settled down to become farmers, etc. Everybody would share everything they had, and they'd move around to get what they needed to survive. So not that I'm saying necessarily we'll all move around, but sharing as a family, whether you're related or not. Now, there have been, as you probably noticed, many glitches with technology of late. I did say that this would happen, and this will still be the case for some while yet. So do have backup plans to hand. Also, with Mercury moving into Cancer on the 1st of June, try not to take too much that you hear to heart. You need to question it and say, is it true? Before you get upset, burst out or run away. Burst out into tears, I mean, or run away, run to the hills. Just question yourself, or question that situation or comment someone's made. Now, I hate to talk money, but the financial markets, banks and investments, etc., are still fluctuating, and overseas companies could be the subject of corruption charges or some form of shocking news leaks. As I said recently, cash is king. We more than ever now need to stay positive, though, and try every avenue to build a better, more secure and integrated future. Another question for you. What do you need to end at this time of the full moon to build your better future? And as a final little thought for the day, now I'd love to attribute this to somebody, but I cannot for the life of me remember who said it. So unfortunately, I can't ask their permission to quote them, and I can't give you their name to say this was what so-and-so said, because I can't remember. So I'm really sorry, but the phrase itself stuck in my head, and I thought, God, that absolutely hits it on the head. The quote is, "Be the change you want to see." So have a think about that one. And I trust, as always, you find this interesting, and above all, that it helps you. Blessed be.